So there we go. That's Maro introducing the apps. So we're going to move on to the final segment for this one now. And this goes back to our RPG category, and this is a segment we like to call Pissing in Your Cereal. If you guys haven't watched the first one was about Brink and our disappointment with Brink. Sorry, Zodi, you weren't involved with that. I know you'd have plenty to say on the subject, but that's fine.
I cried.
But today's category, and going with the theme of RPGs, we talked about great RPGs that were out there. Today we're going to talk about the bastard child of this genre, and that's Peter Molynuex.
Fucking Peter Molynuex.
Yeah.
I'm sure Soto has a few things to say about
I think we all have some things to say.
If you don't have things to say about Peter Molynuex raping
Well,
you,
I don't have a whole lot to say about him anymore because I stopped listening to him.
probably bringing the thing. Actually,
Then let's dig into our
dig
memory.
up the things that he has said in the past, the promises he has made.
Yeah.
He kind of reminds me. I hate to put him in this thing, but like, you know, when you're a little kid and that white van with no windows rolls up and you're on, you know, the playground and guy steps out with candy making amazing promises. Your eyes get all gleamy. You get in the van and then you're just never the same. That is Peter Molynuex.
Okay.
He comes on the TV, he makes some amazing promises. You get excited, you're like, this is gonna be the best day ever. The game comes out, you buy it, and you are now jaded and pessimistic.
Well, hang on though. As much as we hate him, imagine how much his development team hates him.
Why are you making these lies?
Yeah.
Now, for the record, Peter Molynuex doesn't necessarily lie.
He just has an extreme imagination.
Yes.
Defender
He
said.
sees some aspects of his game as much more than they are.
I guess
He's
what it
the
was.
greatest salesman, man.
No, he's a greatest salesman because he lies out of his ass. That's not a salesman. That's a con man. That is a complete.
No, that's a
different.
salesman.
That's a salesman, man.
When a guy comes out there, going back to the when a guy comes out there and he goes, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a game where you can plant an acorn as a child in the game, and as you develop, you can see that tree grow. You can carve your name into that tree.
Zelda. Oh, call for the name, no. Hey, man.
Yeah, you can carve your name into the tree and come back to that. You can see it over the years getting weathered and
Emotional contact to that world. Emotions.
What happens when he walks back to his development department and like, what do you guys think of our presentation? You know what, dude? Fuck you! Fuck you, you son of a bitch!
Stop saying these things.
Do you realize we can't program this? Do you realize this is impossible to program? All these mathematical algorithms we gotta put into this game in order to make it function for each.
It's not even that. It's
little
not possible. It's like, dude, it's due in a month.
You son of a
We
bitch.
cannot implement this in a month.
Have you played what we got so far? Have you? Do you realize what you're saying is impossible? Like in Fable 2, when he introduced the dog mechanic, and he was like...
What dog mechanic? It was a dog that followed you around and found things.
That's not what it was supposed to be in the original. What it was supposed to be, according to Peter
took a bullet for
Molynuex...
you.
That's true.
According to Peter Molynuex, what this dog was supposed to be was supposed to be your emotional connection. And what he would do is based on your actions. If you could, like, leave him and go into a building, and if you never fed him, he would starve, he would become very malnourished. And if you left him, he would cut. You could hear him claw on the door of the inn if you left him outside, and he would get all these emotional things. Again, did he go back to the developers? They go, do you realize this is not happening?
If not happening, just stupid.
It would have been kind of interesting if they had actually implemented
It would have been
that,
kind.
actually.
Some of them not so much. Like, okay, wait. Are we making a game where you purposely get to abuse the dog? like you're sitting there,
Well,
like,
isn't
what
it-
set?
hang on.
Any good man isn't going to be like, I'm not letting him out in
Isn't-
cold winter while he scratches at the door.
Isn't that every Sims game?
Yes.
Designed to let you purposely abuse people?
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of The Sims,
She's got me there.
I remember also Peter Molynuex talked about how the world was going to connect with you and how every one of your actions was going to affect how the NPCs reacted to you.
I never forgot about that whore who gave me STDs in the game.
Yeah, no. But that's not what happened. All you did expressions. You farted in their face and they went, ew, and they walked away.
Yeah.
This game was as interactive with the world as The Sims was.
People are going to react to you in the game. You're going to make connections with the individual characters in the game. You're going to get to know them and everything. And I'm like, oh, so where'd that go? Oh, well, you dance in front of them and hearts appear.
See, here's what I think happens with Peter Molynuex. He goes out there, he makes these incredible promises about a game that'll never exist. He goes back to his developers. They yell at him for a half hour on what the fuck are you thinking? making these promises, and then they actually go in and implement some of what he said into a realistic
As much as they can.
Yeah, as much as they possibly can.
Or is really
So
just
much.
feasible in general.
How pissed off can these people possibly be at this guy? Because I know, as just someone listening to his ass, I get pissed off. It's at the point now where he came out for Fable 3, and I immediately ignored him.
Yeah, it's like, nah.
I think
Wait, they came
what
out
it
with
is
Fable 3?
when they start yelling at them, he pulls out a sales chart.
That's true, yeah.
He goes, do you realize how many copies of this game
And why
we
are
sold?
we so gullible that every time we hear this stuff and we go, this is going to be awesome?
I think that gullibility
It's hope.
It's hope. Because everything he talked about, we really want in a game. From the things he promised in the first game, I still want. I still want them in a game. But no, he releases Fable, and then Fable 2, which was disappointing. And
Fable
3,
1 wasn't. He didn't make the gross exaggerations he did in the others.
Fable 1 definitely did have its...
Fable 1
its
had its
strengths.
points, and that's Fable 1's probably the reason I bought Fable 2. And then
and then raged.
And then raged. And then you're the only one on this table that even bothered playing Fable 3, and I'm sorry.
why?
Because
Didn't you learn?
I didn't buy it with the thought of Peter Molyneux's promises, or even exaggerate whatever the fuck you want to define them as.
His imagination.
His imagination in mind. All right, I bought it pretty much with the idea of like Fable, which is a sad thing because if you paired the right development team and or the right salesman, is like the lore and world of Fable, the creepiness, which you go into a little hut and there's a letter and a story you read about the person who died there and the eerie atmosphere that they can bring to you. In those moments, Fable is amazing to me. I love those moments. If they found a different way to introduce it, make it more dynamic, I imagine they would have probably what would have been on the top 3 RPGs of all time list. They don't seem to do that, but they seem to bring this lore, like the little gremlins in their caves. I don't know, their names escape me. In any case, they're the pretty much
The
kidnapped.
The
Kobolds?
kobold?
Is that what they're called?
I think
I think so. Yeah.
They're the kidnapped children,
Entirely wrong.
Yeah.
right? And which are then changed into that through magic or through whatever, and you are slaughtering kidnapped little children.
Now,
It's
see-
kind of awesome.
See, the thing is, this is not a hate on Lion Head Studios. Lion Head Studios did the best they could with what they had, and they presented some pretty good stuff.
Let's not forget good and evil, manipulation,
Yeah.
character development. It's kind of, and those are why I got the game. I'm just defending myself here.
Yeah, it's okay. But who we're talking about is,
is
the
Peter
snake,
Molyneux.
the snake oil salesman from the back in the Western days, remodernized into a salesman for video games. That is Peter Molyneux, a guy that comes out and makes these exaggerated promises that never come to light, and make what was a good game extremely disappointing. Yes, it makes the sales go up, but the dude, he straight out lies.
Although I will say, black and white, fun as hell.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was fun in hell.
Well, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
There's kind of this flaw of I've just spent 5 hours in this one mission. I like to think my city's pretty. They haven't come to terms with me yet.
Well,
Okay, one second.
people are fickle.
I need to put down some fertility statutes because now I'm going to war with just jackass. Wow, this is kind of... While it is, I loved it. It's still kind of annoying.
Yeah, some of
No.
the mechanics are a little weird.
But
I
also,
enjoy
but
it.
also, what saved Black and White and Black and White 2 was the fact that Peter Molyneux wasn't out there presenting them at E3.
And also the ability to pick up and throw people.
I was just about... I swear, man. I swear I was just about to say that.